All right, welcome to game one of the day, NP versus EG. Community bands at the top. A lot of familiar faces there. Slarky Malarkey, now available for the picking. 99 heroes
By the
remain.
way, I feel like you need to not call him Slarky Malarkey every single time.
Hey, okay, Slark.
Wow.
I thought
That
you
was
were
a
going
little
to defend
harsh, dude.
yourself.
All right,
Nope.
that came off a little harsh.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
I
Jesus
I
Christ.
wanted to defend myself, then I thought back, I think I have said that every day in elimination
Hey,
mode.
man.
So,
My videos get stuck in your head. At least
All
I
right,
don't
now
do the voice anymore.
honestly, I feel bad. Just
Oh,
say Slarky Malarkey from now on.
Slock him along. Don't go fishing, mate.
all right, fish out of water.
Oh, fish in the water.
Okay,
All right,
so what do we have
seeing
here?
here?
Axe Wisp and Bat Rider Sven
You know,
banned out.
I really want to see Winter Wyvern. I don't know about you, Slacks.
Winter
Yeah, I
Wyvern.
great
love
hero.
me some Insta-Lost games. I love them. They're great. A lot of talk about. Let's defend Winter Wyvern, and there we go.
Pull up Twitch chat, asshole.
Why?
Because I want to read it.
Fuck Twitch chat.
I know you.
Here, I'll give you a spoiler alert. You want to read Twitch chat? They're going to say, ha-ha.
Cringe.
There's going to be a lot of ha-ha. And then maybe some jabated for those new memers. Anyway.
All the young ones out there. So, Crystal Maiden for the Evil Geniuses. Bold first pick.
Ooh, not really.
For
EG.
game one of EM, I don't think we've seen her prioritized in a game one yet.
We've seen her a couple times, though, in
She's
game
game two material, bro.
Yeah, but in the right strategy, especially on EG, probably one of the only teams in the world that's going to prioritize a Crystal Maiden pick because of their unique strategy. Am I right,
Hey.
Modpax?
What
Well,
picks did they pick yesterday?
They picked a lot of Enchantress, I was going to say, on the side of NP. So Crystal Maiden already excellent up against that. Might be worried about a little bit early.
Shut up,
aggression.
Modpax! It's Jakiro! Talk about Jakiro now, you idiot.
A little bit, I mean, still a good hero for dual off lanes. Good hero to run the mid lane if you want to go crazy pushing. The whole, like, MyPro was running it just the other day, too. It's nice.
Fucking mid Jakiro boys, Liquid Fire Max, Tower Destroyer. The sole picked in TI was Digital Chaos, which lost them their most important game. It's Jakiro, the fuck up, followed by Centaur. Woo!
Oh. NP's
Okay.
coming out with a bang.
Who's playing this?
It's got to be off lane.
Yeah, I think it's probably MSS plays offlane for them, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't see AOI playing this.
Yeah, Mojo Centaur.
He
seems
never
pretty
took any
likely.
of like when he was on the team. They didn't pick Centaur one time.
Do you guys remember when
He was better
Jakiro
back
was
then.
amazing and then they nerfed the range on Yules and Jakiro turned into a dumpster hero? Do you still think
I do
Yules
remember
is
that.
still like the go-to item on Jakiro? Because I think it is.
I rush
If you're
adds
core.
Veil.
If you're core.
Yeah, I think Veil's just too good, assuming your team has any extra magic damage.
Okay. All right. I keep behind a veil. I hope it's a mid Jakiro. I think that's the
This
most
is-
fun to watch.
He might just get a 4-staff this game, though, because there's a
Yeah.
clockwork. Last time it was Universe, right? They ran it in the actual off lane.
Mm-hmm.
For EG, they didn't do any of these wild support clockworks.
wild.
All these
Crazy
crazy
stuff.
Euros.
These crazy kids and their clockworks.
This ain't Euro Dota, though. You're right. This is NA. They don't take ideas like that.
That's right.
So is
They
this
want
a
off
Zai
lane
or a
bad.
Universe?
This will be a hard carry clock. We don't do support clock in NA. Getting a deso. Anyway, so Lifestealer banned out. No big surprise there. Still strong hero, vengeful spirit as well. Now, venge bans usually they tell me something's coming, right? Does that mean they're gonna maybe pick up a void? They're gonna pick up a bat? No bats.
Well, they have a
banned.
clock.
You want to see safe lane void with an off lane clock there, Slacks? That'd be cool,
Maybe.
right? Talk about wild and crazy.
I mean, I've been.
I think it's just swap out of cogs, right?
You think so? Is that the big reason to ban Venge here?
Yeah, she's also just an annoying
hero.
ass support. Good stun, good setup, especially with the Centaur too. She can close the gap super easily to get the swaps off with the Stampede.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. That's great.
Underlord.
Yeah, Arc Warden and Underlord ignored. It's funny how day one teams are like, all right, we got to try these new heroes. We're now at day 4 of the tournament. Teams are like, yeah, fuck those heroes.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, they're totally ignored, not picked or banned. Like, do you think either of them are likely to be snatched up? If they're not picked in game 1, I think they're just ignored for the rest of the series.
really? I mean,
Underlord's definitely
people have
getting
not
picked
had a
up.
lot
I
of
think Underlord,
success.
yeah.
If they've been getting
Underlord's
trashed.
too good.
Yeah.
There's no way Underlord's a bad hero.
I know,
Arc Warden,
Underlord's
you can
good, it's
argue
just
one way or another.
People have
Arc Warden's
not
just very
used them.
one-dimensional. What's that?
People think that they know how to play him well, and they just haven't had practice. Like at fucking, what's his name? What's that? No Tail at the
Oh.
goddamn TI, dude.
Goddamn.
I was like,
What?
yo, No Tail, can you play Underlord, bro? I have to pick somebody to
Oh,
play it.
yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I'm great. Fucking sucked, dude. It was horrible.
We were actually talking about that yesterday. When it was use your ult. Yeah, he's dead. Buy back No Tail.
That hero
Both
was
of our
actually
careers
made-
hinge on this.
The hero was made for 10v10 for sure.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is true.
Shit's pretty broken. All right, Undying now, 4th ban from EG. This is much different from what we've seen days prior. A lot of these heroes were prioritized much later on in the series. Kind of cool to see some adjustments.
I mean, it is pretty cool. This is like stuff that you would think about if you're, I don't know, the worst case scenario banned out. These are like tier 3 heroes that are getting first banned out here, kind of. I mean, I don't know. Definitely
And
not
how
NA
many
picks a
tiers
lot
are
of them,
there?
though.
What? There's
many
infinite
tiers are there?
tiers.
Dying.
There's
Infinite.
Like 10 tiers?
Yes, there's the, let's see, there's the Leshrac tier. That's his own tier. It's under everyone else.
Marlene and I always
what
just
about
used to talk
Visage?
about the dumpster tier. That's like the Visage is in
Yeah.
the dumpster tier. That's the classic.
I love this.
Is there anybody that's not in a tier?
Like
Viper.
their tier list.
Wind Ranger tier? She's just picked up for
Oh,
no
okay.
reason randomly. You never know why. There's never a, oh god, a Wind Ranger would be perfect here. No one's ever said that.
I like the one button tier.
Yes!
Viper and Wraith King, the only two
right.
members.
Here's
There
the
he
thing.
is!
Hey,
This is
Underlord.
so
Centaur
strong.
or Underlord is a 1. I don't know which one though.
I think Centaur is the one, and Underlord goes off lane with Jakiro, don't you?
That
Guys,
sounds
I
dirty.
have some info on that.
Oh,
I was
is that
chatting with
Purge Gamers?
AUI yesterday because I said something stupid in my cast and he corrected me and it was very helpful. Anyways, and then he said we didn't even know Underlord was in the pool. We completely forgot about it last time we played.
That is
So-
Yeah, that sounds like Curtis. to me.
And he also said he thinks it's best as a dual offlane, so we'll probably expect to see a dual offlane.
All right. Well, that's some keen insight. Thank
Thanks
you
for the
Purge.
knowledge bomb, baby.
What,
Now we
what
get
did he
some
correct
Purge.
you on Purge?
I said that Dessa would be okay against Medusa, and when the way Spell Shield works is that it damage blocks 60% of the damage that you take without adding reduction in. So basically, minus armor or magic amp is really bad against Dusa.
That is a
the
very
solution is
technical correction that
Just
you should not be
raw
ashamed
damage.
of.
You
No,
fucking
I mean,
idiot.
I'm glad he told me though. I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal, but he was completely right. Like minus armor things are not good against Dusa. Just mana drain is
Yeah.
billions times better, or just raw damage would be better.
Fantastic. Well, we got
What a
punch
helpful
for
pro player sending a direct criticism to a caster.
Yeah, where's the public tweet? That's what I want to say. I want Purge shamed for
I mean,
this.
I was thinking about
god-awful
tweeting
error.
it, being like, "Hey, thanks to AUI for," but I thought it'd be a little bit obnoxious. I mean,
It
I
would
just
be a
told you
little
now because
obnoxious.
What is that?
it's
Stop it.
relevant.
But I'd like it. And then you could retweet it, because you can retweet your own tweets.
You're right. I retweet it every 5 minutes.
That's a good tip, Motpax. Thank you.
No problem, guys. Moo Dota, everyone.
All right. So Pudge here, 3rd pick for EG. We haven't talked about it yet. That's pretty exciting. And
Oh, shut up, Zion.
Mitt Romney night now for
Mitt Romney night.
NP.
Omni night.
Dude, election day's coming. We got to get in as many political references as we can here, Sykes. We got to charge this thing up.
I mean,
I only have
guess.
one spare room if Trump wins, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, everyone calm down here. We don't talk politics here. I don't want Purge to have a fucking heart attack.
Are you ready to do a special What the Duck in Canada on election day with political purge?
No, I don't. I don't want to do that. Anyway, let me talk about this Omni Knight pick, if you don't mind.
Hit it up, Bob.
Pretty damn good against Clockwork. If you get caught in the cogs, a Repel or a Purify can totally turn that around. Great against CM. Most of that is burst magical damage. Even with the shorter Repel time, she's pretty good, and you can get out of that stun. But mostly excited about the anti-Omni versus the Pudge. He hooks somebody, he gets a blast with some of that pure damage, and easy Repel out of that as well. As long as Omni Knight's not the guy who gets hooked, looking pretty good. And with Underlord and Omni, it's beautiful, man. They got a lot of survivability on this team, much more than EG does.
It's pretty cool with Centaur, you know. Sometimes you can run into that issue where you have a Blink Dagger, Tranquil Boots, maybe not much else. You jump in, you get turned around on. Omni, he's there with the save, even more burst damage to go with your double edge, and maxed out hoof stomp.
Yep. I don't know.
And you have the those new buffs to Omni Knight with the reduced cast time, right? So now he can actually get it off a lot easier in between battery assaults.
Yeah, it's true. Although Repel is pretty nerfed with the time that it's up, it's kind of buffed too. I mean, before if you saw a Sven stun coming, you wouldn't have enough time, but now Omni can block a mid-air Sven stun.
Okay, so it's really just a change. It's a nerf in duration, but it's a buff in terms of reaction time and that kind of stuff. That's
And it was a
I'll
fair
take it.
nerf too. I mean, you could just tower siege repelled juggernauts unlimited time, so it was disgusting.
well. Shadow Fiend now, 4th pick for EG, likely the Sumail hero. So a lot of Twitch chatters there hoping for a Sumail Pudge, but seems unlikely now.
Yeah, no, we're definitely gonna see. But Sumail day one, wasn't he something like 18 and 3
Yeah,
or
he
something.
played a
It was-
fat Shadow Fiend.
Yeah, it was disgusting. So we'll probably see that again here.
So it's gonna be Clockwork offlane, pretty much for sure. So Zai Pudge.
Zai Pudge.
So they need a carry.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think they're just lacking some sort of defusal hero, probably, right?
Slark.
Slark.
I'd like to see Faceless
Clark!
Void.
Sorry.
Okay, fine. I thought he might be a high priority carry here.
Slark.
Slark's not bad.
Yeah.
He's not that good, actually.
He is pretty bad.
Get in the back line, pork up that Omni. Whoa!
Oh!
The Venom.
And we saw this before, right, from them?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Arteezy.
TZ Veno. And was it the same game as the SF Sumail?
Yeah. It's
Yes, it was.
really disgusting.
Oh, yeah, because they did the... Oh, wait. Yeah, so they have the Clockwork and the Veno. I guess you
Yeah.
have the Clockwork SF, so you can just do it that way. Or can you still do the Roche thing, where you deny the wards in the Roche pit?
Uh-oh.
Oh, the Envy Classic Terrorblade. 5th pick for NP. Another great hero to have with the Omni. Good 5-man pushing. These are pretty cool drafts.
I don't know. I don't know about this one. I feel like EG's got the clear advantage
I
here.
think this Venomancer is going to be very hard to deal with. They have a really tanky lineup, but position 1 Veno, if he gets, Veil, does that similar ability he did last time, he could still get Ags. I don't think he did it last time because they had... Did they have an Alchemist?
Yes.
So they pulled him and agging him. So we'll probably switch up that build a little bit. But if Veno is that position 1 that's 1 or 2k net worth ahead of everybody else at 15 minutes, his damage output is disgusting. If he hits level 11 before anyone else, prepare to get wrecked, Slacks.
Yes, indeed. We'll be calling him Buenomancer.
Woohoo.
I think NP has a better lineup, guys.
Okay. Why is that?
Because they got so many strength heroes,
Because they have Centaur.
Because they have...
They have great combinations.
They have Underlord and Centaur. Like,
Oh.
how can you go wrong?
How could they
Omni
They're
Next
going to
possibly...
be able to
Terrorblade.
get a super fast pipe this game. There's no reason Pitlord can't get that.
That's true.
I don't know. I like their lineup.
Well, what do you think, Modpax? You're the smartest one here.
No.
All right, great,
Like
buddy.
it's-
Thanks a
No,
lot.
no.
No.
Let's get into
No,
the
the
game
Omnight
here.
Terrorblade's a nice combo. Shadow Fiend and whatnot, like the Clockwork, that's all good. Chris Main has like a ton of space that she might actually be off some decent ultimates this game because there's not that many stuns, right? It's like Ice Path and pretty much Centaur, so unless she gets rooted up, but I'm feeling it for EG, I think. Got to give it to him on this one as much as I love the NP Terrorblade.
Yep.
Shadow Fiend is going to get off to a really good start because they're just going to do that Cogs thing.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned the Plague Wards too, right?
Does that still work in the pit?
what
Not
do
that
you
it
mean in the
matters
pit?
because the
They
Cogs
can
is
deny
way more
Cogs,
reliable
yeah.
anyway, so
Yeah.
that's the thing.
We saw Complexity do it yesterday, where they had the Shadow Fiend with, like, was it 12 or 13 stacks of Necromancy going into the lane, or Necromastery, rather.
Yep.
I mean, it
Pretty
was safe lane,
disgusting.
so it didn't really matter that much. But for mid,
Watch
that's
that bug
pretty
get
gross.
fixed soon.
I know, this is probably like one of the last times we're even going to see this combo come out and not be banned. Because like everyone is doing this Clockwork Shadow Fiend. I'm a little ashamed that we didn't say anything. Because it's just, like it just
Bug
happens
or
nonstop
feature?
now.
That is the question.
Keep it on the DL, guys. You know what the best part is that the Cogs, that means that they have little tiny men inside them. Little tiny working slaves.
Yeah, they have souls. Yeah, that's true.
Thomas
Definitely.
Edison thought people's heads had little people inside of them.
No, no.
Not so smart after all, huh? There you go.
All right, so here we go, loading into game number 1 of this upper bracket best of 3. No elimination here, but winner will be that much closer to the grand finals here of Elimination
Yes,
Mode
yes.
2.0. We've got 2 amazing casters to take
Wait,
it
we didn't
away.
do predictions.
Oh, predictions. Fuck me. Okay, what do you want? Who do you got?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say NP 2-1.
Whoa, okay.
I'm going to say
EG2-0.
EG2-0.
1-1. What?
Okay.
What?
The
Oh,
series
I
will
said
just
2-0
end
EG.
after 2 games? Okay.
So you think it'll just be just
a tie.
a draw?
Yes.
Like chess, they'll just decide,
Draw!
you know what? Thank
Guy
you.
was on
Mr.
Dream League for too long.
Maybe
It's a real
NP
series
will
going.
pull out of this tournament after they lose a game. I mean, you know how that goes. Just kidding, guys. Sorry, that was a little too brutal.
Jesus.
That was too real, Slacks. Too soon.
too
Yeah.
real.
Too soon.
Fair.
Have some respect. So anyhow, we've got some casters for this bad daddy. It's Annie and Purge for game 1.
All right, hello guys, and welcome to the first match of the day here in Elimination Mode 2.0. I'm Android, being joined by Purge. How's it going, man?
Pretty good. I'm excited to watch the game. Obviously going to be a bunch of plus damage going to Shadow Fiend if they want to do the cog trading. So his lane should be pretty solid, and I'm excited to see how Underlord works out this game as well. That should be pretty fun. I think it's decent against EG. There's a couple of heroes that are going to want to get BKB, mainly Shadow Fiend, so I feel like the Pit of Malice can do a lot to make sure that their team still has good lockdown.
Yeah, I'm really liking the NP draft here. Just noticing our little character portraits here. 4 out of 5 heroes have horns on their head, so that's a little interesting thing here. NP clearly have the hornier players, so we'll see how bad they want this series.
They probably want it pretty bad. It'd be a pretty good set to win. We're still in winner bracket, right? I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So you know, every win from here gets you a lot closer to the victory. And maybe not in a fun way though, because you're gonna have to play that best of 5 at the end and pick almost every hero in the game. So that's gonna be a fun one.
All right, so just starting things out, we've got some Dire Vision over here in the Radiant Jungle. Nice little ward here. Gonna go ahead, block some camp. Crystal Maiden does not have any sentries, so not able to take that down, but just walking around and scouting things out.
Should be fine for her though. I mean, she'll get a fast level 2. Who's the other support? Pudge, I guess. Yes, Pudge has sentries, so they'll be fine there. I'm kind of wondering how useful Pudge will be in this game. That's kind of what I was looking at the end of the draft. I just feel like, I don't know, against Omni, against Underlord, they always have good disables, they have good escape routes. I feel like there's going to be a lot of Terrorblade illusions in the way. I'm just not super sold on the Pudge this game. Maybe if you go something like Blink Dagger, it could be a bit better, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's actually been one of the most picked heroes in all of Elimination Mode is actually Pudge. I feel like we've seen it every single first game of the entire tournament so far. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, definitely fun. I mean, the hook's hopefully going to be on point here. I have faith in Zai, but if not this time, there's no Lifestealer to bail out into. We saw the Lifestealer strat where you just put Pudge inside, leave Rod on, and charge him down. Now, bottom lane here, we're going to have some ferocity coming in. Of course, duel on Try. What do you think is going to be happening here in the bot?
Yeah, just Underlord trying to get as much as possible. It's kind of scary for NP though, because they do have a lot of disable between Gale and Rot and maybe CM disables. And so they'll just try to limit the farming of the Underlord as much as possible.
God, that Venomancer set is the most flamboyant thing I've ever seen.
This is actually a mix, I think. He chose not to equip the face, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it just doesn't even look like the same hero, man. Too purple.
Oh, no, wait. Yeah, okay. I remember this one now. Oh, good Gale on 2 heroes. Doesn't do that much damage, though. It's only about 75 at level 1. Don't really see them getting a kill here. And Omni Idol for sure is going to have Repel level 2, so at that point, like, these guys are actually just not really killable unless they are able to initiate on both. So at the moment, I feel like EG's not getting what they need to out of this lane. And I wish Crit would just hit fast level 2 as well.
Up top, Universe gets really, really low. Gets down to probably like 30 or 40 HP, but going to be able to go back and salve up and tango up. So he's feeling all right. You know, Clockwork isn't really that strong of a laner here. Oh, back down bottom. We are going to have MSS get thrashed down pretty low. They get the root onto Arteezy. He's going to squiggle away from this. Now, Underlord getting low as well. Nice root onto the Crystal Maiden. Nice Purify comes out from the Omni. Ooh. Can they actually get this? Pudge going to be going down. They get the trade on the Underlord. Arteezy going down as well. It's just a bloodbath here. Now, Crit stuck in the trees, fighting the creeps, but looks like we'll be able to get back under his tower in time.
Omni Knight.
What a balanced hero right there.
Purification is just such an amazing skill for laning aspects. Like, being able to heal somebody and do damage for the same amount is just ridiculous. It's kind of equivalent in some ways of having two skills in one, really. Just trades so much. And the Repel is super clutch there. Almost all the damage from EG is magical. And in fact, most of their base damages are terrible. CM's especially. And Venom's is not really that great either. So once somebody gets repelled, they can kind of do whatever they want for 2 seconds. Or 4 seconds, that is. Oh shit, it's 5 now. Damn. So long.
Alright,
5
so
seconds, level 1.
Shadow Fiend now sits back. He's got himself a double damage rune. Do you think there's any kill potential on mid lane, or is Envy just too defensive?
I mean, maybe if there's like a triple raise, but there's so much armor on Terrorblade that I just don't see the SF cutting through that, especially against a poor man's shield. I mean, on the bright side, he can definitely kill the illusions a bit, but especially when Eternal Envy goes into range mode like this, it shouldn't be possible. Smail doing a really nice job last hitting, though. Envy's kind of forced to use his Metamorphosis as well as illusions. He's still getting denied here. Sumail's just owning this.
Yeah, I mean, how's Sumail going to build up this game? Shadow Fiend, we see a little flexibility in terms of items. Is there anything you're expecting to see? Oh, hold that thought, as Crit could be in some serious trouble. Arteezy comes in, throws out some damage, but no, Crit going to be walking out of that one just fine.
Just to comment on this little gank first. If Gale lands before Repel goes, then the Gale stays on. So they could have had that kill, I think, if the Repel came a bit earlier. Anyways, for Shadow Fiend build, it's a little hard to say. Like I said, Pit of Malice, the Underlord's second skill, can disable or at least root or interrupt TPs through BKB, so Sumail probably doesn't want to go a build like that. But with that said, I think he might go something like Blink BKB. He did that last game he played, Shadow Fiend. I thought it was quite useful, just for the whole being able to ulti. It makes their team fight really strong. I think it's definitely a possible thing, but he also has to be worried about Centaur carry and things like Omni Knight and Terrorblade physical damage. It's it's kind of a hard game to analyze in terms of items because the picks are so weird.
Yeah, definitely some strange things going on. In terms of overall wards, Dire doing a pretty alright job. They've got some sentries up in lane near the rune spot. They got an observer here in the top lane. Radiant, I mean, they're doing their best here. They've got those dewarding sentries down here in the bottom jungle, but not a whole lot of offensive vision leading to ganks.
Yeah, not too surprising really, but I mean, especially because Zoni and NP is so tough. If they would have been able to hook MSS there, that could have definitely been a kill on him, but like I said, the Pudge is just having trouble getting things on. There's a gank top, though.
Oh yeah, they're going in here. Centaur just barely getting out alive. The return
Rocket in
gonna be
5.
doing a bit of damage. One more slap is not gonna be enough. He gets down to 10 HP. Now Jakiro jumping in. There's gonna be dual breath latching onto Crystal Maiden, but Crit should be fine, able to go ahead and heal up through this. But man, Centaur counting his lucky stars right there. That Stout Shield putting in some work.
Yeah, and he also juke-tiered, anticipating the arrow, or the rocket that is. His Tranquil Boots are kicking in, so he should be fine. And SVG getting some much-needed experience too. A lot of rotations coming in, but also from the Dire team too. See how this turns out.
Yeah, we got Zai thinking about a
Envy's
hook
in
here.
trouble.
Eternal Envy could be in some trouble. They've got Sumail now pushing up. Eternal Envy knows something's awry, but he's just getting too low, too fast, and can't do anything about it. It's a nice easy kill there onto the Shadow Fiend. More souls going his way. There's a return. Omni Knight, as well as Pitlord trying to chase him down, but looks like there should be enough escape here. Sumail just trying to go and TP out, and they've got nothing else to burst him down, so free escape for EG.
Yeah, he played that perfect. Envy did his best as well. He summoned an illusion right when the hook came out, and by doing that, at least blocked the pure damage. That was pretty sick, but at that point, there was just a little bit too much disable, and the extra raise just put it over the edge. Like, Terrorblade does not have a lot of survivability in terms of against magic damage, because his HP is low, his armor's amazing, but against magic and pure, that's his counter. So he's got to be careful to not get ganked like that anymore.
Top lane, Zai moving in, looking for some hooks or whatnot. There we go. Jakiro going to be slapped down. Universe, he's got the cogs if necessary. There we go. There's not a whole lot Jakiro can do. Pops up the dual breath. There is going to be the ice path as well, but unfortunately too much damage already dished out, so it's going to be a dead Jakiro once again. Now towards the mid lane here, Envy running away. Raise off the mark from Sumail, so Envy will be able to escape.
Dude, I'm just glad that it's a Clockwork game that he can actually do something in. Because every other time that we've seen Clockwork this whole tournament, and one of the other performances was from Universe, he was against like Caudle and Rubik, and it was the same the second time I was picked by a different team. So we actually finally get to have that taste of Clockwork doing good things that Universe can always do. It's just if the wrong heroes are in the game, the hero's terrible. It's bad to pick Clockwork in most cases.
Yeah, I mean, it's really frequently picked up with the Shadow Fiend, of course, the cogs deny. Now, Sumail here, I think he's in a little
what a
bit
gank.
deep. Oh, the punch hook comes in. Zai with the saves. It's going to keep Sumail alive. That looked like certain death. But this Pudge just struts it off like it's nothing.
That was really well done there. Zai being in the perfect place at the perfect time. The gank was amazing by NP. The Sunder for essentially a 200-300 damage nuke, followed by the Purification and the Ice Path. But the hook counters everything, and that's the big benefit of Pudge this game, actually, is that NP's disables are a bit weak.
Jeez, that hitbox is kind of dumb. Ice Path off the mark. Zai trying to chase down the Omni Knight. He's got that move speed advantage. Now, Zai, he's going to be burning slowly, but I think he's still all right here. The Stampede comes in. They want this guy dead. It looks like they will eventually find him. He gets off the suicide with the Rot, and they're able to find a return kill on the back lines. Ice Path comes in. Universe in some trouble, going to get rooted up. There's going to be a Venn diagram of pain coming in, but Universe able to get back up onto the high ground.
Pretty big mistake there from Terrorblade. Envy trying to guarantee the kill on the SF, and everybody basically gave up on the Pit Lord, or the Pudge at the same time. He gets a suicide off, and then Envy dies as well. I don't know if they would have killed the SF even with the faster Pudge kill, but bit of a miscommunication there leads to another important death on Terrorblade. That's his third death, by the way. He's the only deaths on NP, and he's barely level 6. Definitely behind.
Yeah, you look at Sumail on the other mid, and he's 3-0-1. He's got 33 souls now, 1,500 gold. What does he go for here? He's still sitting on brown boots, but I think he can just keep saving up and go for whatever he wants.
Yeah, I think, honestly, this is a great game to go for a fast blink, I think. Just because of the lack of disable from Terrorblade, he can solo kill him very, very easily, as long as he gets some kind of a triple raise off. So I like the option. Pretty good against Omni Knight as well, just because offensively, Omni can't prevent that mobility as well as typical heroes.
Down bottom, another crazy hook comes in. It looks like Pit Lord trying to get out. They don't have any more stuns to hold him in place, so Zai just shrugging it off, rotting away. But this is looking really good for Arteezy. We haven't had a whole lot of game impact from him. He's just been sitting down here farming up. He's top of the last hit chart. second on the net worth chart. I think this Venomancer is going to be just coming out of the gate swinging pretty soon.
Yeah, the best benefit about the way Arteezy's been playing this is that, especially his supports left the lane pretty fast, and at some point the dual off lane's been roaming, and instead he just sits in his lane. He does side pulls with large camps. The Plague Wards have been buffed a couple patches ago to do way more damage to neutral creeps. And because of this, that's how he's got so many last hits this early on in the game. So he gets all the farm he wants, he gets more experience than a typical carry would get, and he's all super survivable while he does this. It's going to transition into a fast Veil.
I mean,
Very
I
good
haven't
build.
seen a whole lot of Venomancer in competitive, and I'm not quite sure how it's going to scale up.
Oh,
Now
he's
here,
dead.
he may lose his life. He's squiggling away. He's still alive. The creep aggro, not going to take him out. He's going to TP back to base with just a scratch of HP left. Oh, that could have been real good for NP, but instead it's just going to waste some resources and EG respond.
Yeah, that would have been amazing. I'm not sure if MSS had a Firestorm max there. I noticed he did choose to go 2 Pit of Malice. Oh, I'm sorry, he was level 6, so he couldn't have maxed out. Alright, pretty much nothing he could have done there. It was his best attempt, and it just wasn't enough. Would have been a massive kill, though, killing Arteezy there. He would have gotten so much gold, considering that's a net worth leader. Other than Sumail, that is. And Terrorblade now as well, 44 last hits, still behind. The rest of NP kind of shifting towards the top lane. What's AUI doing? He went for the Hood after Tranquil, so kind of appears that he's going to go... I don't know if he's going to go that battle build or not. We'll see. I think he's definitely one player that could pull it off, do something creative with the hero.
Oh, Sumail.
It is a blink. On
He's
Sumail.
going in deep. He's sitting under a sentry ward, not exactly the sneakiest position, so Omni Knight gets wind of that and backs off. Now, I mean, you're talking about Terrorblade really struggling. He's now able to go through and push in. He's just going to be able to pop Metamorphosis, and this should be a nice tower. Is that his big comeback mechanic? Is it just towers and pushing? Oh, Sumail, he's trying here. He's just going to be smacked down. He's burning, and looks like he's not going to get saved this time. He tried to be sneaky, but that caught up with him.
It was perfect timing on the Sen. I mean, they saw Shadow Fiend mid with that Sentry Ward.
Yeah, he
now
was
they
repelled as
anticipated
well.
a top 2. So good. No, the repel was on the Centaur, actually. I think if you're repelled and you use double edge, it doesn't deal damage to you either, so it's pretty cool.
All right,
If they can
tower
get
burning
Chris.
down. Jakiro, he's got 3 points in liquid fire, so this Fortify is not going to last forever. Now Universe, he's thinking about going in for a hook. They've got the Crystal Maiden. She's level 6, hasn't grabbed her freezing field yet. It's pretty typical, but that means there's a little less damage coming out of EG right now.
Yeah, Crit's first couple rotations were solid. Maybe he should have hit level 2 faster, but since then he's been feeling kind of weak in terms of his game impact. I mean, the mana that he's giving his team is great and all, but CM's best by moving around the map, getting kills repeatedly, and this is a really tough game for it just because of heroes like Omni Knight. And most of the other ones are just evasive, they can get away easily. The only one that is very vulnerable is Terrorblade, and he's pretty much just been AFK jungling with Iron Talon this whole time.
All right,
MSS
so
gonna guarantee no push in mid as well. Like, it's very difficult now for EG to push towers without Venom wards, that is.
Universe crawling around. He's got himself a chainmail, so is this just going to be the classic blade mail build that we see a lot?
Yeah, most likely. It's just amazing to have, especially against heroes like Underlord. If you can reflect that damage against Underlord, if he ever gets into a hook shot, battery, assault, cog on somebody, it just guarantees their opponent will take more damage if they try to defend themselves.
Omni Knight,
37 in trouble. He's got to repel, but he's gonna wait. He's got to run so far.
he's
He
got to
has no
book it.
TP.
Pudge, he's just going in long range dismember just to hold him in place, setting up for more damage coming in. Long range raise, though, not going to connect. He might actually get out of this one. Brings in the Pit Lord. There he goes. Gets the root onto 2. And it looks like Shadow Fiend's just going to unload that Requiem and just try to get back and keep up the farm. But Sumail just kind of controlled up in that fight. Now a Stampede. He's going to blink back. Oh, the hook coming in. Omni Knight dishing out a little bit of damage there with his nuke. And this is just a very back and forth fight. No real winners here.
Yeah, I think Underlord should have committed to the SF kill. I mean, SF ulti, oh, here comes the hook. Well, that's pretty good.
It's all right now, but the Cogs not going to do yourself a favor. And okay, we're going to have Pit Lord dismembered up.
Man.
Universe gets out of that alive, even though he sat under tower for most of the engage. So EG looking really strong right now. How did NP get back in this?
Just kills is the way. Arteezy is a great start.
Yeah, they don't
SVG's
have
got
the
a stun.
Stampede, though. They don't have the Blink on Centaur. Ice Path slightly off the mark. Arteezy, he's just crawling around. Hook this time not going to connect, so Zai has to back off in defeat.
They're getting tower advantage here. Rocket's gonna land on 2. Can he hook one? It's got. Oh, definitely. He's gonna get something now.
Oh,
for
there's
sure.
the Veil. Arteezy also has the ulti if necessary. Just tosses out the Gale. Easy pickings there. Stomp comes in, holds back the Pudge, but now Arteezy just going in, dropping the Poison Nova. Centaur is slowed. He's trapped in the... Oh, no! The juke spot taken out. And now Pitlord doing his best, but the hook comes back in. And now it looks like Centaur just hoof stomping for his life here. Pudge doesn't have that Dismember off cooldown. And Crystal Maiden actually gets low here. Crit is in some serious trouble. The double edge turning things around, and they are going to get her down with that Ice Path coming in. Jakiro lands a kill, and now Arteezy's the one in trouble. Gets hooked back up to the high ground from Zai. Everyone else juking around the wrong way. You've now got NP herded into a tight little circle. Can they capitalize on this? EG looking to make the turnaround as
Good
Universe comes back up into the dire jungle, gets the hook onto the Centaur, who's still alive somehow. Macro Pyre dropped along with the Ice Path. Easy kill onto the Clockwork. Oh god, it's all going downhill from EG right now.
Yeah, especially because Centaur does all magic damage. So
Another hook coming in, but that actually brings the danger closer to you. Don't know if that was the play, Zai. He's going to go ahead and get cleaned up, and now Arteezy, one of the lone survivors of this team fight. Still no Stampede, still no Blinks, but that seemed not perfect from EG.
yeah, I mean, they're playing it amazing. Zai's got some great hooks. I don't think I've seen him miss one yet. All of them have been useful. But NP has a lot of the heroes that they need to solve all these problems. Heavy aggression, Omni Knight is amazing at shutting that down, especially in combo with a hero like Centaur. Because all you have to do is repel the Centaur, and any double edge damage he does is stopped. It allows him to basically go through Blade Mail, because the Blade Mail damage won't reflect if he has Repel up. It's just amazing how effective NP's heroes are against EG. And it isn't going to be until maybe SF gets a damage item or two, or the Veno finishes his Ags, that things get a little bit easier for EG, because they're just having trouble getting kills.
Man, it's getting tight here. We talked about NP just being really far behind, but after that really long chase from EG, they're definitely looking alive here. Terrorblade manages to at least stay alive for most of that fight. Hasn't found himself a kill yet.
He looks real dead. I think he
Yeah,
thought he could farm the enemy jungle to be safe, but
There's
he's in panic mode.
no vision on the Dire side. Don't really know what he was hoping to accomplish
But
there.
that's the point. He's expecting his opponents to be aggressive because they have a tower advantage. So he says, if I go to their jungle, they're definitely not going to have wards there. But then they just happen to see him. I don't know if they saw him walk in through the river or something, but once they do spot him, yeah, he's real dead. He didn't even have a TP. That was maybe the more dangerous part about his play. But yeah, he's having a rough one. His net worth is still pretty good, though. It's behind Veno, but not by that much. And the best part about Terrorblade is no matter how many items he has, he still hits really hard, just with Metamorphosis.
Yeah, he's still going to be a phenomenal tower pusher if NP ever gets the chance just to go in and whack on these structures unimpeded by EG. But EG, they're not letting things go without a fight. Clearly very in control of their own territory. Now, all of NP, they're grouping up. They're heading down this bottom lane. They want to get this tower because it brings a lot of control to the Radiant jungle, a lot of control around the Roche pit.
And they can definitely take this pretty rapidly. I love the fast pipe on AUI considering the damage types of EG's squad. Just minimum the minus 10 or the 10% extra magic resistance is huge. It's basically like having null field on Rubik. It's a little expensive. Very few players do opt to go for pipe lately, but with things like Jakiro and Pitlord, they have everything they need. They can clear creep waves super fast, and they can guarantee that a tower dies. Like their lineup actually is quite synergistic. I like it a lot.
Oh, Pitlord going in for the Dark Rift. They want to defend this top tower. Looks like they're all going to be coming in, but can they actually find any kills off the back of this Venomancer? Just kind of squiggling around, has the boots of travels. He's just going to go ahead and pour it out of here before anyone else has a chance to deal with that. So that's a little bit of a split up from NP.
The important thing there for NP is that they were going to lose the mid tower. Something else AUI mentioned to me yesterday is that he thinks Pitlord's amazing because he guarantees that your opponents can't split push. In that case, that was not the case. And that's just because EG did such a good job pushing the other two lanes. They realized that them fighting NP right now is very difficult. They're not winning engagements, so it's better for them if they continue to farm up until they get another item or two, because they're definitely going to win late game over NP, I think.
Yeah, I mean, what's going to be that threshold? Is it a structure thing? Is it a kill thing? Oh god, Crystal Maiden, she can't deal with the fire. She's just a small ice wench, and it looks like Crit will end up just burning alive. Good god.
Yeah, pretty straightforward kill there. And Jakiro's getting super farmed as well, 1800 now. Envy's, I guess, going probably Yasha here. Who knows if he'll ever get it? He's been having a rough game, but
I mean,
next. big item that I'm curious about is definitely Centaur. He's got 1,000 in the bank here.
Well, maybe he'll live through this, maybe not. They've got Universe sitting here. He's invised up under the tower. It's a risky fight, and it seems like now NP are catching wind of what's going on, and AG have to rotate out. So, just going to be going in, clearing out the wave, and we haven't seen a whole lot of brutal fights after that long chase up into the dire jungle. Is it going to be the Roche pit? Is it going to be tower defense? What's going to cause that next big group up?
Roche is definitely something that that EG has to be concerned about, especially with Terrorblade on the team. They have tons of damage output. They have tons of tanky support items right now, which is the cool thing about their draft. Centaur's got Pipe, Vanguard, of course, like we pointed out before. Omni Knight went Glimmer Cape, and the Underlord's trying to finish a mech. He's pretty delayed, I would say, considering that his early start was alright. He hasn't spent too much time just AFK farming, but he's got it now, I believe. So pretty much fighting is definitely something NP might focus on, and Roche could be one way that they force a fight around EG. The only hard part is that they have to make sure that EG doesn't get towers for free while split pushing while they go for Roche, because it still will take them a long time to kill Roche.
Yeah, I mean, EG can also take a pretty awesome team fight. They've got Arteezy now with the level 2 Poison Nova. We haven't seen the Crystal Maiden Freezing Field, but if everyone's slowing down, taking damage over time, you dump some Icicles on them. I mean, NP are not that tanky. They'll definitely be vulnerable to that kind of team fight.
Yeah, they definitely would be. CM going for an interesting build, a little old school, picking up Midas. I had a little discussion on Twitter about this yesterday. People, I think Fly originally complained about CM's low mana pool. But basically, once you get more than one level of Freezing Field, you just don't have the mana to cast it, and even with 1 point, you sometimes have trouble. He's actually going a 4-3-2 build here. Usually, people will max out Arcane Aura pretty quick, but he's really just prioritizing his 2 basic skills, which kind of makes a lot of sense, because if CM can just stay in the back and continue cycling those abilities, it gives her a lot of long-lasting output of damage and disable. It's not as important to walk in an ulti in almost all cases.
With the kind of focus on skills, would you expect her to go for like an Ether Lens or just stick with some classic CM? Oh, the root up top, Arteezy, he's panicking. He's stuck between a rock and a hard place, dumps out his ult, but there's just nothing to be done there. Oh, God, no. Centaur already with the finished pipe, making sure that Venom ult doesn't even hurt that bad.
Yeah, that's actually quite little damage when you look at it. Especially with Veil on top of that. I mean, Arteezy is about 2,000 gold away from Ags. That'll change things heavily, since the damage does go up by a lot. But EG controlling mid lane really well now. Still pushing at mid. That tier 2 tower did die in that last trade, so EG definitely has a lot of control over the middle of the map. That part's pretty nice, but the next big tower that EG would love to kill is either the tier 2 bottom, to guarantee less Roche advantage for NP, or either the tier 1 top.
Man, down bottom, Clockwork didn't stand a chance right there. He just gets dumped on by the damage coming out of Centaur. Yeah.
So they basically used Dark Rift to BOT to the bot lane when they didn't expect it. That was a pretty huge kill.
Mm-hmm. So NP,
it's like playing against an IO.
Yeah, they're looking alive here. Definitely catching EG off guard. Does EG have to group up as 5, or do they have to, smoke gank as 2 or 3, look for picks? It seems like NP keeping EG on their toes a little bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the issue. EG doesn't really have good initiators, with the exception of Clockwork this game. And even if they did, there's still a lot of stuff they have to worry about, like all the mechs, pipes, repels. Like, if you don't know where the whole team is, it's difficult to take those engagements. I think this is definitely a Dragonlance game for Terrorblade, actually. He hasn't purchased it, but I think he should go back for it, just because it gives him range advantage over the Plague Wards. I think that's really important, actually, to be able to just kill those easily. And his base HP is still awful. He's got 860 max on agility treads here.
Alright, NP just crawling around again. Overall net worth is really, really close. Less than 1,000 difference between these two teams at 20 minutes in. Usually you expect some sort of front runner. Now NP, they've been a little bit crippled by the fact they haven't been allowed to get free push onto Radiant structures, and that's something Terrorblade excels at, but they're definitely holding their own. Like you mentioned, EG, they do have an ultra late game advantage, but I think NP are still going to put up a hell of a lot of fight for the next 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, for sure. And that's one of the biggest strengths about EG is that even if they're losing a game in some ways, or even if they can't fight, they still farm equally as fast as their opponents. Just because they're very good at anticipating when it's time to farm or split push. Because if you lead those split pushes at the right time when your opponents are about to group up, then that should mean that it forces your opponents to have to TP back from taking towers and advantages like that. So EG is amazing at that kind of thing. That's why things like their Midas, I think, are going to pay off big time. It should translate Crystal Maiden eventually into something like Blink BKB. And basically guarantee that everybody on EG does good damage.
Hey,
and keep in
Farge.
mind also, yeah, what's up?
You can finish your thought.
Keep in mind also that once CM grabs like Blink BKB, that's also comboing with the Veil that Venom already does. So I think NP might even need like 2 pipes this game at some point.
Hey, Parch.
Yes,
Why does return not work on Plague Wards?
because Plague Wards are buildings, I think, but I guess it does work against regular buildings. Who knows?
Stone
a little
to
weird.
purge.
Fix it. Fix it.
Same mechanic as Blade Mail versus Witch Doctor.
No, it's not. I don't think it's like that, in my opinion.
Well, fuck.
Because the Witch Doctor ult doesn't have HP, so it's not quite the same. That's why, but in the Witch Doctor ult's the one that does damage, so that's why the Blade Mail doesn't reflect. I think it's different.
Wait, who's the fucking caster in this game, y'all? We got a smoked up NP. They're looking for something. They're walking into the river. They should be able to catch onto the Radiant here. Centaur smoke is going to pop. They know something's up. And now there is going to be that rocket flare giving them some vision. Hook back in. Oh, interrupted by Sumail walking in the middle of that. Now the blink away from the Centaur should at least be a stalling point of this fight. Krista Maiden walking back in from the mid lane. And the rest of NP completely unscratched, not spooked. They're just sitting back and enjoying their high ground advantage.
Yep, back to farming. 4 staff now up on Underlord, so even if somebody does get hooked and cogged in, they can still save them. SVG is available. Basically, if you just press F5 for a moment, like the itemization of NP are great. They're super strong. The only thing they're really missing right now is the Vlads. The problem with these builds, though, is that they usually have trouble scaling. If they can't take a big fight or take a big tower advantage with these great teamfight items, then at some point they will get out carried. And there's the Ags on Venom. Now things are starting to get really scary.
Mid lane. There's going to be some aggression popped out. All of EG here to defend. They want to make sure this tier 1 stays up. It's their last point of control anywhere near the Roche pit, but it looks like NP going to back off right now and show some rare mercy. The hook shot from long range. They catch onto 2. Pit Lord follows up. Oh, the damage is coming in. Now they are able to go and get off the Requiem. There's tons of damage coming in. Pit Lord just ambulances everyone out. Your Uber has arrived. And now the fight's going to just continue here, leaving Envy to fight for himself. Terrorblade goes down once again. Is that worth it?
And that's an enemy carry. That's pretty good. He's not going to farm right now. Should give some more separation between Veno and the Shadow Fiend. It kind of looks like SF's building an AC here. I'm not entirely sure. He's picked up a plate mail right away.
Slacks, what are you doing with the camera? Good God.
Is Slacks obsing or something crazy like that?
Maybe.
Oh God. That's not good.
Yeah, it's really not. Alright, back to Centaur, man. He's picked up a Reaver, so it looks like we're just going full tanky damage mode at the front of the fights. He has not died yet. 3, 0, and 6. Is the Centaur going to continue to have a huge impact into the later game, or is it just kind of tapering off now?
I mean, the Heart's kind of good because if he disengages, he can heal, obviously. I'm not sure if Poison Sting resets heart damage or not is the next thing. It is player-based, so I would think that it does, but I'm not 100%. The other thing is that EG's damage is mostly magical. They actually don't right-click very much, so going a max return build doesn't really work amazing in a game like this, so I'm not sure how it's going to scale. It might be a little iffy.
Yeah, I mean, NP, you talked about their lineup falling off into the late game, and you can certainly see that with Terrorblade having a tough time, really just finishing off his Manta. He's got 1,600 gold on top of that. Doubtful he's going to go back for the Dragonlance, even though I think it could benefit him. NP, it seems like they're just not going to hold on if this game goes another 30 minutes.
It's hard to say. Maybe, yes, I kind of agree, but if you look at the net worth right now, Underlord should definitely pull ahead of Clockwork. Clock also didn't go something like a Midas, which is standard. So Underlord definitely has better farming capabilities. That should mean that there's 3 farmed heroes on NP versus pretty much just 2 on the EG side, with the exception of CM with a Midas. But I just don't know if that'll be enough. We'll have to see. I'm not sold on it yet, though.
Yeah, it's getting tricky here. Terrorblade, if you just all of a sudden took over for Envy here, if you just kicked him off the keyboard, took over the controls, what would you do to get him back in this game, having an impact?
Just honestly, just keep farming, take a team fight, stuff like that. But they've got to wait for EG to group up. It just takes so long for them to take Roche themselves. EG has the better Roche heroes by far, but it's on Dire team, so or on the Dire side, so it's a little safer for them to do it. So NP's just gonna keep farming, just completely standard stuff here. All their levels are pretty important though. Jakiro getting more levels is great. Omni Knight more levels is solid. Pretty much everybody's happy to farm on both teams, I would say, except for maybe like Clockwork. That guy doesn't farm fast.
All right, I need your insight here. I don't see a whole lot of Jakiro in competitive. When I do see him, I usually see some priority over Dual Breath as opposed to Ice Path. What's the logic for really wanting the ice?
Well, Dual Breath is a really good skill. It has very low cooldown, it slows really well, does solid damage, does 100 damage per skill point, but the best thing about maxing Ice Path is that the uptime for how much stun it does compared to what the cooldown is, it becomes really high. 2.5 out of 9 seconds of AoE stun. So it can be really useful in long team fights if you cast 2 or 3 Ice Paths. Usually that wins you an engagement, especially against a hero like Clockwork. It's pretty much guaranteed you can stun the clock as he engages on your ally. They're going to try to take a fight, though. They're going to grab Pudge.
They're going in. This Pudge is locked down. He tries to force staff himself to safety, but it's only going to be into the jaws of the Pit of Malice. And now
Ooh,
Pudge
he does.
actually gets the deny off. Universe, he's sitting here in the cogs trying to walk his way through. He's going to get burned down. He's frozen up, and they're going to switch their attention over there. Universe, not long for this world. They get Crystal Maiden as well. The double edge just tears right through her supple flesh. And now going in to this tier 1 tower. Whew, NP just came out of the gates running.
Yeah, no kidding. It was a great engagement. Just jumping on Pudge
Thanks,
first.
Suns fan.
Guarantees that whoever does get engaged on, Pudge can't save. That's the big thing that happened there. And also Veno wasn't ready at the start of the fight, so kill a free hero. They get another follow-up, the Repel as well as Double Edge on Clockwork again, just completely shutting that hero down. I don't even know what Clockwork's itemization should be, but it's actually just a detriment to have him in this game now, just because Jakiro does so much AoE control, and it's kind of the same thing with Pitlord. 2 heroes that just do massive amounts of damage in an AoE base, so whenever Clockwork goes in, he just takes too much damage.
Alright, Roche coming out here. Aegis popping onto Envy now. That's a decent little turnaround thing he's got. He can go into these fights, be a little bit more aggressive, not worry so much about going down right at the beginning, but his Metamorphosis is down for almost 2 minutes, so it's not like he can go and just immediately turn this into kills.
But he can farm with it, which is really what all the hero cares about. So Manta Styles to push, Conjure Images to push, keep bot lane pushed in if possible. He'll never be able to push as well as EG will, but it's still pretty solid. Terrorblade's very good at it.
Well, here we go. Invis rune spawns. No one picks it up on the side of EG, just leaving it to chill. There we go, Arteezy. Maybe? No? Thinking about it.
I do like that MP's playing very defensively right now, considering that most of their spells were on cooldown. Most importantly, things like Metamorphosis. If they can just make sure the EG doesn't get near the base right now, then it guarantees that they can wait until their ultimates are off cooldown, and then they can take a really good fight with the Aegis.
I hear little
Omni
Venom
going for a
wards. They're
Midas.
scouting out. They know Omni's on the high ground, but can the Radiant actually go ahead and try to get some sort of push in? They're gearing in
can.
towards the mid lane. NP, how do they defend this? Do they sneak around from the back or just make a frontline wall?
Just same kind of fight as before. Just engage on one of the squishy heroes would be solid. Don't let the person you go on get hooked back. That's what they have to aim for. They also have to be careful about Venom now too. He's got a Diffusal Blade picked up, which means that he can definitely diffusal off whoever he casts spells on to guarantee the repel. Doesn't give them that survivability for 8 seconds or so. And it doesn't remove Poison Nova. I don't know if it removes Gale damage. I'm guessing it doesn't, considering it doesn't remove the slope, but as long as Arteezy gets to jump on somebody, it'll be a great advantage. So maybe a Blink Dagger for him next. That way he can land a perfect ultimate on like 5 heroes and then diffusal off everybody as the repels and stuff come off. Should be an EG win.
Alright, so things just stalling out, farming up. Who does this really benefit right now? Because EG, like you mentioned, their cores just scale really nicely. But the fact that NP finally gets space for Envy to go and try to push and try to farm is pretty nice. Eventually, these teams are going to have to meet. And there we go. There's the hook in to start things off. Owie, he's got the Stampede if necessary. Just going to get healed up, taking care of this creep wave. And EG, they're now on the defensive.
Yeah, not necessarily the hero that you want to engage on there. AOI wants to get hooked and allows. Oh, he's going to catch Sumail.
Oh, there we go. Sumail is going to be stuck in the cogs, waits it out. Pit of Malice goes and roots up Sumail. Arteezy dumping out that ultimate. And is there going to be any more follow-up? The hook shot comes in. Universe. Oh, they're tearing apart this Omni Knight. He's able to go and pop off that Guardian Angel. Now Arteezy burning low. He's sitting in the Macro Pyre. There's not much he can do. Sumail, he's still looking strong. There is going to be that Sunder going in. They get a little bit more HP onto Envy. Hook off the mark. And it looks like this may be the end of the engage. Crit wants to keep moving forward. Sumail, he's going to be continuing in. Long-range raise doesn't connect, but they do pop the Aegis onto Eternal Envy. He's coming back. Can they take care of him a second time? Well, it looks like no. Terrorblade gets the kill onto Sumail, and now over here, Zai! He goes in, he gets the kill on Jakiro, and is able to rot himself down. It's Crit versus Envy. Crystal Maiden, she's squishy. She's going into the neutral pit, hoping for the best. Force staffs herself up onto the high ground. I think she might get out of this one alive.
That was a pretty crazy fight.
Everyone's
NP basically
dead.
They win it because of Aegis, more or less, but it was a quite good engagement from both sides of the field there. I kind of want Centaur to get a Blade Mail. I don't know if that's unrealistic or not, because he's already farming so fast, but you know, he got hooked out of position again. He took tons of damage. He eventually did die. He wasn't able to disengage was the big thing.
We'll
It's
see.
almost like he needs 2 pipes, really. He's just taking too much magic damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's our BKB is viable here. I mean, it's not really a common game for that, but
It's kind of good against Veno. It's kind of bad too, though, because I mean, while it's up, it'll stop the Veno damage, but as soon as it runs out, the Veno damage will continue. So
yeah.
BKB is not really the Veno counter like it used to be a couple years ago. Omninet got killed as well. I think he might have also been hooked. Again, he bought Midas. Maybe a Force Staff could have kept them alive or something like that. I don't think there's anything wrong. Yeah, I was just going to say, stack hoods on a couple of these heroes, especially the supports in the backline. Because if Veno does grab a 5-man ulti, they want to keep fighting. And as soon as you get Veno ultied, the fight's over for you as a support. Especially if your Tranquil Boots are disabled. So getting hoods on these guys is ultra important. Once the pipe runs out from Centaur, just pop another barrier up and it'll block 325 magic damage before resistance, that is. Which is in some ways a lot better this game when you're playing against things like Veil. Barrier can be more effective. So I think NP can win these fights. And it's looking pretty good for them, especially as SFBKB goes down. But they've got to have the right items just to survive through the Veno Burst.
Yeah, I mean, the Veno Burst, it's not feeling super scary here. Arteezy's had tons of time to farm up. He's gotten off a couple of pretty clutch ultis in the middle of the fight, but it's, you know, is Arteezy going to really start to feel like that position 1 we know and love, or is this going to kind of be it?
It's hard to say. I mean, Veno is an agi hero, so in some ways he does scale well, but you don't really... And he's already got Diffusal, so...
Down bottom universe. He's in a world of hurt, finally. Oh, the hook shot out. He escapes the Pit of Malice, and he's still booking it. He's hasted up, and it looks like that's going to be it. You got the blink on the Centaur in 2 seconds, but even then, they can't catch up. So EG, they scoot universe right on out of there.
Yeah, that was a really good escape for him. Well done by him. They're going to try to go high ground, though. The split push is coming from Veno, but it's quite slow on this hero. No, they'll back off. They'll just farm the enemy jungle for now. This is a good time to take advantage. Just farm enemy jungle, make sure that they don't get their creeps there. That means that they're getting maximum 2 creep waves of gold. And Daedalus picked up for Sumail. Going all raw damage considering he's against an Underlord. It's a cool choice.
Everyone's all smoked up here from EG. Are they looking for fights or just some sneaky positioning? Because clearly they're not going to be attempting Roche anytime soon. Still got a couple minutes left on that spawn timer.
Yeah, any kills that they can get right now is great, especially because they feel like NP is back to sit and farm. They haven't seen anybody in the base, which is why NP is now retreating. They're anticipating this smoke just based on positioning, so they won't actually grab anything with it. This is basically what you have to do when your opponents have map control over you, is that occasionally you have to leave with a show of force, try to take a fight. If it doesn't work, whatever, at least you're on the map now, and you feel comfortable doing that. So, as you can see, despite the bot lane being pushed in, EG's kind of regained control of the mid and the top lane. So NP will have to slowly move out again, push all the lanes out, and guarantee that they'll have control of that afterwards.
Owie, gonna go ahead, get veiled. There's gonna be the hook. It does connect. He stampedes, but he's still stuck in place from the dismember. Cogs holding him back even further. He's now got no mana. The pipe is gonna run out, so he's taking some serious magic damage. Meanwhile, Sumail just goes to work on the Omni Knight, and they will get him down. So EG get 2 for nothing. Really nice little gank here on that top lane.
Yeah, huge hook just guarantees that pretty much. Sets the disable up. Zai can't really gap close super great right now. He's got a Force Staff, but that only does so much. And absolutely huge kill, especially with Omni coming in. Omni tried to save him, just didn't have enough. I think he maybe should have Glimmer approached. He used it on AUI instead, which is kind of a good idea because it will resist a lot of the magic damage, but he really didn't need to die there as well, I don't think.
Really a game-winning cloak there, eh, Purge? I mean, that little Glimmer cape? That's pretty good on Omni Knight, right, buddy?
It's a good item, honestly. It is.
Yeah.
They just have so much magic damage.
Yeah,
That's all. Yeah, fuck you, Slacks.
Jesus, Slacks. Could barely hear you over that freaking salt in your throat. Now, tier 3 attempt is coming in, some slow siege, but Pit Lord able to go and clear that out. You got EE Illusions. Oh, the hook up! MSS! Gonna get dumpstered here. Not much you could do about that. And NP, they just gotta kind of try to hold the fort as the rest of EG have backed off, so they're gonna push out another lane here.
They also lost Jakiro on the other side of the map trying to split push, so EG just completely stabilizing and taking control of every side of the map. Crit's got Force Staff now, picks up a Ogre Club, probably going to be a BKB for him. Like the choice.
Alright, what do you think about Dire's vision here? Because right now they've only got 1 ward up, it's about half duration here, really deep into Radiant territory, but the fact that they've got no vision in their own jungle is really costing them a couple of kills.
Yeah, it's kind of scary to ward your own jungle sometimes just because your opponents can usually de-ward it so easily. Is there a gem? I feel like there is. No, there actually isn't yet, surprisingly. Everybody's still focused on sentries. I think that's just because both teams don't really feel like they can close out the game right when they want to, so taking a gem is a bit risky in some ways. I think I might be based on the fact that NP doesn't have as much catch as a typical lineup, and that's kind of the same case for EG as well. That some of these ganks are kind of hard to land, but the big thing's just been Zai's been every single crucial kill so far this game, really. Just constantly landing the hooks when they need to on the important kills, and having somebody with damage there nearby to guarantee the kill.
Yeah, this support pudge has been super impactful. Now, it's a really, really short Roche respawn, one of the fastest you can have, so it's going to be up less than 30 seconds now. Dire, they're crawling around. NP would love to get a couple of picks before this thing comes up. They'd love to get themselves another Aegis, because Envy, he has spent a ton of time farming, and he just pops out of nowhere. He's got a full BKB, he's got an Eye of Scotty, and 3,700 more gold to work with.
Yeah, and NP smoking towards the enemy Roche area just because they know that Roche is up soon, so they thought they could swing around and approach NP from the back, but NP had the same idea. They'll engage EG before the Roche actually respawns, and then hopefully win a fight and take Roche. So now we have flop sides of the map, kind of weird to watch, and no vision advantage for either team here. Oh, perfect scan from EG. They read that one.
Nice got out everything going on. Universe goes in. That's a deep hook. He may have just kamikazed himself. Goes for the 4-staff, and now we have got a nice ult coming out of Arteezy. Is that going to be enough damage, though? Oh, man, the Guardian Angel making sure NP feeling nice and safe. There's going to be a stampede. They're looking for more. Crystal Maiden, well, Crit's dancing, but is it going to be enough here? You've got Aoi getting pretty low. Envy as well goes in. Nice little Sunder, but he's still taking so much damage.
Oh,
Crit, he's actually going to be able to get the kill. Crystal Maiden was not spotted out in the trees. Now Pit Lord, the ambulance, is able to get the rest of his team out, leaving Jakiro to fend for himself, but minimizing the loss there coming out from NP. What a bloody disaster. Oh, we're not even done. Aoi goes in. The hook not quite going to be in time to save Crystal Maiden.
Dude, Crystal Maiden did an insane amount of damage there. Let's look at the fight recap. He actually did the most by far. He did 7,000 damage with his ultimate in that engagement. I haven't seen a good CM ult in a long time, and that one was actually beautiful. NP just needed to focus on it a bit more, I feel like. The initial kill of Arteezy was great from Terrorblade, but I feel like after that moment, his focus fire was a bit misadjusted. He basically got all the way low from the first freezing field, then he sundered, he was full HP again, but then he went low again, and instead he could just take in a couple steps to the right, found the Crystal Maiden, and just killed him. Because he just ignored it when he had BKB up, because it didn't matter. But the fight went on for so long that it actually ran out, and then he just died. So it's still a really good fight for NP. Their initiation was perfect. Just the CM multi cleaned up so much.
All right, I need your opinion here, Purge. In your professional knowledge here, Pit Lord ulti, good spell, yes?
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's definitely very good. In moments like that, especially, it was a huge save.
That's like the second time he's just bailed out 90% of his team and just helped out so much.
Yeah, and the delay's not even that bad. 3 seconds. The only way to really stop is kill Underlord before it goes off, and Underlord is a little vulnerable this game, having no magic resistance or BKB, but I'd say they're doing pretty well. I really need somebody, I feel like somebody on NP needs to buy a Vlads though. It's an amazing item to have with Terrorblade just because he's got so much base agility gain that it gives him a lot of free damage, and all the armor and stuff like that I think will pay off.
Yeah,
Not sure who's going to build it though.
Underlord's building very differently than what we've seen before. I mean, we've seen the Naga Siren build with the Radiance and the Octarine and the Vanguard, and now he's going true support here.
Yeah, I think this is what the skill build should be, or the item build should be in most cases. Like, I thought the Radiance was okay, but the Manta was awful. And I think Mind Control's skill build also was way off.
Award.
It was only 3 though. Maybe. Oh, well, this is looking bad. EG is reacting to this. Although they also have a ward. They also see EG smoking. They know what's coming.
Oh god. Too much vision coming in. It looks like Eternal Envy. He's all up in it. You got Crystal Maiden coming through, but the stun! Oh god, the pit coming in as well. There's an ulti coming out, but it's not going to be doing so much work here. Oh, everyone's just starting to drop. Arteezy, he's already dead for 75 seconds. No buyback. The pipe, the Guardian Angel doing a ton of work, so all of NP are still up and fighting fit. They forced most of EG back, and now they're going to be going in, just plowing through this mid lane, perhaps even getting some serious damage onto the tier 3s and racks.
I can't believe they only killed one here. That initiation was perfect. The blink, stun, double edge with Purify and the Firestorm. Man, they did so much damage at the start. They just couldn't finish people. The big play there was actually Universe separating Eternal Envy, cogging him in, preventing him from gap closing. That was huge.
Oh, hook comes in. Universe, no regards for his own life, but a counter hook comes in from the Pudge. They managed to go ahead and isolate the Terrorblade. Now he does have himself his ultimate, so if things get real, he can just go ahead and sunder some health back. These racks starting to go down. You've got Jakiro burning him with max level Liquid Fire. Now It looks like Eternal Envy might be able to land some serious damage here. They're focusing down the range. It is gone, and now the melee is up. Zai, he's looking for the hooks, but only manages to find a creep. And now here's Sumail. He's going to get caught up in the Ice Path. Can they actually focus down this Shadow Fiend? He's going to go ahead, try to get off his ult. He will be able to do so, but he's still dropping low. Stampede to make sure all of the rest of the Dire escape, but they're going to turn. They're going to go back in for Sumail. One more slap, and he's going to be gone. He manages to get back to the fountain in time. They're looking for Universe, but he's got the Blade Mill, and it's a risky engage. Now the hook comes back in. They manage to go ahead and find Envy, and they do kill him off. So now EG, they're looking like they can hold this. Hook shot in. Universe just trying to make some space. Arteezy with another ult. Pit Lord brings himself out of the fight, but they do leave Jakiro to fend for himself once again. It's not looking so good. Ice Path clips onto the Pudge, but one more raise should kill him off. There we go. Venomancer gets the credit for that with his cute little buggy right here.
Cloud9.
A huge hold there by EG. The hook shot, or sorry, the hook on Terrorblade actually kind of changed everything. He overdove a little bit, but I thought he was also going to get the Shadow Fiend. If he would have killed SF, then everything changes there.
Yeah.
SF maybe is forced to buy back. But that hook, Dismember to kill Terrorblade, and then the follow-ups afterwards, just an amazing defense from EG. Only losing one range barracks in that engagement.
It's definitely better than I anticipated. Now, what happened there with Terrorblade? It seemed like he just was walking around, didn't have a clear target, and eventually just got played with, got hooked in and hooked out.
His damage is pretty good, but it's not amazing, because he opted for BKB with Satanic this game. The Satanic is pretty smart, considering how much magic damage there is on EG, which just guarantees that he can stay alive longer. But when you get hooked that far out of position, with tier 4 towers hitting you, and lots of magic damage, it ends up being too much, and that was definitely the case that fight. Arteezy grabbing Aegis, dropping his Veil, finally.
For the first time this game, you look at the net worth chart, and there's more than 1,000 difference. It's been viciously close all game, and now the kill score still telling the story. We're 45 minutes in, and there's a 1 difference in kill score. Towers are relatively even. NP have a slight lead just with that one little half a racks they grab, but one successful push from EG could definitely tie this up or turn this in their favor.
Yeah, this game could definitely go either way. I think NP definitely has an advantage right now in team fights. And especially once BKBs are down, they have way better longevity than EG does. They can just stay alive, keep healing each other with things like Repel, Purify, Mech, things like that. And that's what NP should have been able to leverage there to get a 2-racks, but they just had a couple too many deaths. So as long as they can take another good fight and go high ground like they did before, I think they can close it out, but it all comes down to getting that good fight first.
Alright, it's getting real, man. We've got Venomancer with an Aegis here, so Arteezy can just kind of YOLO in, make sure he gets off the best Poison Nova possible, and then respawn and try to get himself out. Is that the Aegis carrier you would have chosen, or you still want to give it to Sumail?
It's pretty safe on him, just because Sumail's got Satanic and BKB. He's got 2 items to stay alive. Not to mention Blink Dagger, which helped out last fight. So I think it's okay to put it on the Veno. Especially because if he uses his ulti, stays alive for a long engagement, and then gets nuked down, his ulti will be back off cooldown again. So he doesn't have that much HP regen, essentially. Like him surviving to burst initiations from NP is difficult. I think it's the right choice here.
Yeah, I mean, Venomancer here, we talked about it a little earlier, that big position 1 bug is still not feeling like he's an absolute monster. He's pretty slotted here. He can go ahead and upgrade his boots of travels if he wants to, grab level 2 Diffusal Blade, but it's not like he's completely underfarmed. He's just not really killing off NP because they've done such a good job itemizing against the magic damage. Now there we go. There's another hook in. The Stampede comes out. Looks like Aoi might still be able to get this. They bring in the rest of the buddies, and now Arteezy, an easy kill. He's going to be respawning. Now Zai is going to go ahead and take some damage from the Terrorblade, but they still want to stay focused on the Venomancer. He's able to blink away. Can they catch up with him here? They've got the Pit of Malice up in 5 seconds, but he's got the slow. Nice little Gale there. Envy, he's moving forward. Can they catch up to Arteezy here? The stomp off the money. Arteezy, he's still squiggling to freedom. He's got his totes of travel. He makes it into the trees. What a player.
That one's on MSS though. His Pit of Malice should have been down by the time that the Aegis respawned, but because he was able to blink, he gets away. That was a really big mistake. He tried to maximize the damage a little bit with Firestorm, but he was just too late to cast the Pit. That should have been Arteezy dying. It was a great reaction. They even gave up on the Pudge, I believe, to guarantee the Veno kill, and they didn't get that either. At least they burned the Aegis.
Oh my god, Zai, please relax. They're going in for the Centaur now. They unload the Freezing Field. Another Stampede coming out. Aoi, he's getting healed up by the Omni Knight, and Omni is going to go ahead and drop the Shivas, trying to get some sort of damage up.
Oh, great.
They've got the Macropyre, but Sumail's BKB'd in. He wants to go for more. He's got the Requiem, and all of EG, they're not scared. They're moving in further. pipe is not going to keep you
great
safe
stun.
this time. Jakiro, though, manages to get up another ice path. They're turning this around. It's looking good for NP right there. They're going in. And there's going to be a Guardian Angel as they kill off Sumail as well. They've got buyback on the Shadow Fiend. They buy back on Arteezy, but NP, they hold that one like champs.
No kidding. That was amazing fight. The fact that SVG stayed alive there is incredible. Like, every extra spell that he gets to cast changes everything, and he had some great spell usage that game. The Ice Path and the Macro Pirate, even if it only lasts 2.5 seconds, it just disables EG's damage output for so long that finally they just win the fight. It's just amazing team play by NP there.
Sorry, there's a dog losing its mind in the background.
Okay, normal stuff. Can you get the stun? Okay.
Up the mid lane, NP, they're thinking about it. They've got that Metamorphosis up for just a little bit longer. Pit of Malice comes in. They are able to get the root on Arteezy. Remember, this is a dieback, so if they kill him, or a buyback rather, if they kill him here, that could be huge. Clockwork going in, just nice zoning coming out, but Envy, he's just focusing on the racks. He's got his eyes on the prize, and it seems like they're not going to punish him for now. Arteezy goes, blinks forward, but they got the BKB minimizing some of the damage onto Envy. He's going to grab himself a little bit more health, and now Arteezy TPing back to base from the tier 3s. That's not a good sign from your position 1. And Envy going to work on this bottom lane of racks. Venomancer ulti is going to be wearing out. Now Pit Lord just brings everyone back to freedom once again.
SVG.
Jakiro left to his own devices. SVG not feeling the love from his team right now.
How many times are they going to leave the Jakiro behind? This is actually, it's actually comically hilarious now.
It's like four
There's-
players are on a team speak, and Jakiro's just the pub guy sitting back not knowing what's going down.
Okay, he actually lived this time though. Thank
Yeah.
God for Tranquil Boots. He's fast, 4-stab, making a difference too, but it's almost like they're doing it on purpose.
I mean, if it's going to keep EG occupied for another couple of seconds, will NP reset? Why not?
Yeah, I guess. I love this item pickup by AY going for Abyssal Blade on Centaur. I mean, Vanguard's so popular anyways on the hero. Why not upgrade it to an item that gives you another 2-second stun guaranteed? Means you can stun one person for 4.75 seconds, not counting extra bashes that he might get lucky on. It's just, it's actually a really cool build. His damage is not incredible, but he's almost really hard to kill.
Oh, Centaur moving in. The rest of NP, they want to keep going for this. Arteezy, he's in some trouble, does not have buyback here, and he's going to be going down 100 seconds in the grave, and there's nothing he can do about it. Are EG strong enough to hold without their position 1 and their team fighter?
I don't think so, especially with the tower gone. It's pretty much all down to hero skills, and with Terror Blade, look at that.
A hook in from Universe, that's a risky move there. He's going to be able to force staff himself out of the Pit of Malice, but these racks, they're just melting down like butter, and Aoi, he's dealing with all the damage being brought
This is
out.
bad.
Envy gets hooked in, but there's really not a whole lot of damage coming out. And again, they've got the Omni Knight to bail him out if shit gets real, and now they're going in for the tier 4. The towers, they are melting, and they get down Sumail as well. No buyback on him. GG, well played, comes out at 50 minutes in as NP take game 1, upsetting our panel's predictions.
Yeah, I think NP is playing amazing here. I love all the their heroes. All 5 of their heroes fit together are great. Their 5-man was clearly incredible. Always buffing each other with nukes, with things like mech. Honestly, the only thing they were missing was Vlad's really, and I don't even know if they really needed it. All of their heroes had luxury items like Shiva's on Omni Knight and stuff like that. They just absolutely deserved that win. It was a little sloppy here and there, but like even with Envy dying 4 times early, he still got a lot of farm, and that was pretty much the case for all heroes in this game. But NP was better today. It's a good draft.
Yeah, I mean, there's a chance EG could just wake up, snap out of it, and just crush for the next 2 games, but we're going to have to find out here the old slow, natural way. This is a 3-game series, or rather a best of 3. Again, NP take game 1. We're going to show you game 2. Going to be some creative drafting coming into that, but first, we've got a special treat. It's going to be an ad reel. Let's go.